This is a picture of a brain tumor. It's the hardest kind of tumor to heal and operate on. Yet, astonishingly, a tumor that looks like this can dissolve and vanish without surgery, chemotherapy, drugs, or any risky procedures. It's a healing method so powerful, so simple to use, and so inexpensive. The medical community will do anything to hide it from us. And those who have the knowledge to use it are often regarded as miracle workers. As you watch this video right to the end, you'll not only discover how to turn your body into the perfect healing machine, you'll be able to do it yourself, and in as little as 5 minutes a day. Hard to believe? Not after you hear the true story of George. What would you do if your child had a tumor that doctors could not remove? If they tried, the risk of death for your child or someone you love was so high that it was an almost guaranteed death sentence. But if on the small chance that the surgery worked, your child's or loved one's face would be horrifically disfigured for life. That's a decision George had to face. His daughter was supposed to die. Yet, as you are about to hear, he discovered a third option. It was a long shot, but it was one he was willing to take. And the result? Well, you can judge that for yourself after you hear the story. The birth of his daughter was easily the happiest moment in George's life. But the joy didn't last long, because soon a dentist noticed a small bean-sized growth in his daughter's upper lip. He took his daughter to see a doctor. Surely, since he caught it early, modern medicine would provide a way to remove it, since it was still such a small growth. But his hopes crashed when he was told by the doctor that it was blood vessel tumor and that it was in a place where surgery couldn't be performed. George thought maybe it would stay harmless, that it would stay small and benign, but the tumor steadily swelled. Doctors offered new and modern procedures like freezing the tumor and using electric shocks. However, instead of helping, it made the tumor grow faster. It was stimulating the growth of the tumor. He saw his daughter's lip being pushed up towards her nose every day, and he was worried to death. George lost interest in his own health. Why should I care about my own health? What difference would it make if my child died? He said. When his daughter was 10 years old, the tumor grew so large that it almost blocked her nose. His heart sank each time he saw his daughter gasping for air. The doctors predicted she had only 6 months to live. A shroud of sadness covered their family. Helplessly, they watched their child slowly choke to death. A friend suggested TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine, as a last resort. George was desperate. After furiously and desperately researching the options, he found a center in China renowned for curing the most chronic and terminal diseases. They did whatever it took, landed in China, and made a beeline straight for the center. This was his last hope, but they said it could take time, and it might be too late. George had used up his last savings to make the trip, and didn't know how long he could stay for, and he was in a completely new land without any way to make more money. However, in a mere 24 days, his daughter's tumor not only stopped growing, but also began to shrink. But he had run out of his savings. Desperate to stay longer, he traded manual labor for him and his daughter to stay longer. One day, George's hopes were realized. The tumor was gone, completely gone. Now this story, and the others just like it that you're about to hear, aren't unusual just because cancer, crippling arthritis, viral infections, even as severe as AIDS, autoimmune diseases like diabetes, migraines, allergies, and extreme mental disorders were all completely cured. It's unusual because the techniques and therapies that were used have been around for thousands of years. Yet they are still kept mainly out of view for mainstream America. They are safe, gentle, natural, and powerful. And that is precisely why they have not been promoted in the West. Western medicine and large pharmaceutical companies simply cannot lose their monopoly on the industry of surgery, medication, and drugs. However, with the help of a renowned Chinese medicine specialist, who I'll be introducing in just a bit, you will have access to results like these and live a life that is free from disease, illness, or infection. Again, my name is Kevin Richardson. I'm a natural health researcher and practitioner. And as you watch this presentation to the very end, I'll share this secret with you, because what I'm going to reveal is so simple, so easy, and so inexpensive, and especially because it can drastically decrease or even eliminate the amount of medication you are having to take. I may be forced by the powers that be to take this free video down. If you come back tomorrow and this presentation is no longer free, don't say I didn't warn you. So watch this right now while you still can. You know, even though this may sound impossible right this moment, after you watch this entire video and do what it says, like thousands of deeply grateful people have before you, your doctor, friends, and family will be shocked at the staggering recovery your body goes through almost overnight. How suddenly even tumors and cancer cells can begin to melt away, and how asthma sufferers can suddenly feel like they are taking their first deep breath in decades. How clogged and hardened arteries suddenly become clean and smooth as Teflon and as toned as an athlete. And that's just to name a few of the thousands of case studies that have been documented. I'm going to teach you the secret in just a second. But before I do, I need to talk about the big lie that's keeping you, your family, or dear friends from being free from needless illnesses, physical pain, and disease now. And I think you'll see why I feel it's my duty to share it with you, especially after you hear about how a 70-year-old woman with knee-scorching arthritis in her knees is now able to walk freely again, or how a man with severe vertigo was able to make his symptoms disappear, or how another woman on cholesterol medications went back to her doctor to hear him say she didn't need them anymore. Not to mention the stories of people who have eliminated fatigue, digestion problems, and aches and pains they thought was just part of getting older, and all without drugs or surgery. As I'm sure you'll see, what I'm sharing can mean the difference between the life and death of someone you love. But just a fair warning, you might be angered when you hear about how the medical community and Big Pharma has lobbied to prevent the secret from getting out, so please stay with me. What's the big lie that's keeping you from healing virtually any disease or illness without the horrible and even devastating side effects? The big lie is that a cure for the most debilitating and fatal diseases today can only be treated with medical drugs and surgery, and that any natural cure doesn't exist. As I'm about to prove to you in just a minute, how a natural, inexpensive, non-chemical cure does in fact exist. The truth is, your body already has the power to kill any harmful germ, virus, bacteria, or dysfunction. And anyone can unlock this miraculous healing power for themselves, naturally and easily, which is what your body already wants to do, by using this powerful, safe, gentle, and unusual 5-minute exercise. And it takes as little as 5 minutes a day. In fact, after thousands of documented medical case studies dating back over 5,000 years, there is one simple fact that once you accept it, will allow you to reverse any illness and disease-proof your body. As foreign as this may sound, it certainly sounded foreign to me when I was going through the thousands of case studies of healing miracles. And it was still unbelievable when I personally saw it cure illnesses doctors said were incurable. Look, there is a reason why some people, and even entire cultures, manage to live their entire lives without debilitating illnesses. While Americans are regarded as the most medicated and overweight country in the world, has nothing to do with their genes, or with how many veggies they eat. And it certainly doesn't have anything to do with the level of medical technology they had. Sure, there were a few extreme cases I've seen and read about, like being on the verge of death, that took a bit longer to fully recover back to living a full, even athletic life again. But all medical case studies revealed that the reason why any disease heals is because their body's own healing mechanisms were unlocked and released to do what they were designed to do, create optimum health. Every documented case study of a dramatic healing I studied, and every client I taught this therapy to, the story was the same. Plain and simple, the big secret the ancient Chinese discovered and have been using for thousands of years to reverse any illness, including cancer, AIDS, clogged arteries, arthritis, diabetes, Alzheimer's, yeast infections, completely, is to remove what they call energy roadblocks in your body to make it impossible for bacteria, cancer, or any virus to live, and to create an almost miraculous recovery and immunity to any disease, especially the diseases that are killing us in record numbers today. Let me explain. Like Copernicus, who was attacked and ridiculed for claiming the Earth was not the center of the universe. Like Wilhelm Röntgen was laughed at and ostracized for claiming there was something called X-rays that could see through the body. And many scientists that changed the way to live our lives. They observed things that were invisible to the naked eye and were attacked simply because at the time there was no way to visibly see what they saw. The ancient Chinese were no different. They saw the world in a completely different way. While Western medicine looks at the body like a car with parts that need to be replaced, with often destructive and even devastating surgery when it breaks down, the ancient Chinese saw the human body as many different levels of energy fields, and these energy fields travel through very specific paths. They call these paths meridians. As long as the energy is flowing through these energy paths without any blockages, the body can heal itself. As long as this energy is flowing, invading germs do not have a good environment to settle down and multiply. And numerous studies have been undertaken to find scientific evidence for the existence of meridians. The most startling study was in 1992 at the Necker Hospital in Paris. Master Jean-Claude Derras and Master Pierre de Vernajoul explicitly confirmed the existence of the meridian system with their famous experiment. They injected harmless radioactive tracers into meridian points of 300 volunteers. Then they tracked how the tracers moved through the body using special cameras. Whenever tracers were injected to non-meridian points, they quickly disappeared. However, to their astonishment, when they injected it into the meridian points, The tracers followed the pattern of the entire meridian system, mapped out thousands of years ago by the ancient Chinese. Yet the researchers were further stunned when they witnessed the tracers slow to a molasses-like crawl when they approached diseased organs, and race faster around healthy organs. They were witnessing what Chinese philosophers have been teaching for millennia. The results perfectly followed the 5,000-year-old ancient Chinese diagrams of meridians. This is a computer-enhanced version of an image produced at that hospital. Now, it doesn't end there. The study also established another crucial fact. The less healthy the person in the study was, the slower the tracers moved through their meridian points overall. When the energy was flowing at optimum speed and balance, the subject was in good health. How can this be? According to the Chinese, it is because this energy, what they call qi, is what they consider life force energy, and it contains a kind of information, like instructions for how the body needs to respond. If that information took too long to reach an area, what would happen? The diseased or injured area would not heal. This is one reason why people who are ill are even more vulnerable to other illnesses. This qi also carries instructions to maintain balance and harmony within the body and mind. And again, when this communication is affected, so is the balance and harmony. And the body becomes an open door to disease. Opening these meridians and removing blockages have been shown to stimulate white blood cell production, which turns your immune system into a disease-killing fortress, ready and equipped to destroy any harmful germ, virus, or bacteria once it enters your body, break down man-made chemicals, poisons, and toxins that have entered your body. Increases the efficiency of antioxidants, so you can slow down the aging process and prevent the breakdown of collagen, which melts wrinkles off your skin and keeps it as firm and youthful as a child's. And destroy all forms of cancer cells by increasing the production of something called interferon. That's the main chemical your body creates to fight cancer cells and stop them from multiplying. Despite the medical industry's sneaky efforts to discredit the ancient and long-established healing therapies used in China for thousands of years to heal millions of people, its potent ability still finds its way into mainstream culture. I'm not just referring to the celebrities such as Gwyneth Paltrow, who says, "I've been a big fan of Chinese medicine for a long time because it works." Or Robert Downey Jr., who even received an award for being such an outspoken advocate of traditional Chinese medicine. This is a picture of him with that award. He credits his good health to traditional Chinese medicine and said it has had a profound impact in all areas of his life for many years. Downey goes on to say, "Truth be told, every discipline that I have employed that has its roots in the Chinese tradition has worked. And that's what I'm really drawn to. When things work, they are really worth putting your time and energy behind." Jim Carrey has also said, "Undergoing traditional Chinese medicine has led to a marked change in my physical vitality and my general state of well-being." And Julianne Moore, in an interview for Health magazine, said, "The only thing that really got me back to normal was Chinese medicine." And she went on to say that it has also been amazing for her back pain and insomnia. No, it's not just these celebrities and many more who thoroughly endorse it that prove it's growing in the West. It's institutions such as the Harvard Medical School, which has now created a division to study alternative medicine such as traditional Chinese medicine, or Australia's University of Western Sydney and Beijing University, who have completed massive review of hundreds of thousands of cancer patients and proved that Chinese medicine is indeed a viable treatment for almost all cancers. The researchers intensely scrutinized lung, liver, stomach, breast, esophageal, colorectal, and throat and sinus cancer. A staggering 85% of the participants reported a decrease in cancer symptoms, especially pain, and a 70% increase in survival rates, as well as a 38% reduction in tumor size. Maybe you have heard of folks turning to Chinese therapies such as acupuncture, acupressure, or Tai Chi to prevent disease or reverse illnesses that Western medicine has not been able to help, and I encourage you to do the same. Yet when I interviewed many people, I discovered many were intimidated to go to a traditional Chinese medicine center. So I had to find a way to bring the power of these Chinese healing therapies into your home and into your life in a way that is as easy as possible for folks to use and get immediate results with.